Hello, YouTube. It's Papa Jason with Life with Paul. Just wanted to sit down and cut another video today. Got something on my mind. Being what that is. Hopefully, it'll help you. It'll give you something to think about. Maybe it'll pertain to your life as well. Years ago, I had a pit bull puppy that I raised. I didn't know the things I know today, and I was not the same person I am today. I raised that dog, and he was very, very sporadic, had lots of energy, and was very hard-headed. The problem I had with the ordeal is I was the same. I was very hard-headed, and he would act out, and I would get angry, and I was very, I don't know how I say it. I was very forceful in how I did things. I did things through my anger. I did not train him properly. He still wanted to act out, still wanted to tear things up, didn't want to listen when I told him what I wanted him to do. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up making him more afraid than obedient. I wouldn't say that I was abusive to him, but I was not very nice, and I did not train him in the proper way. The lesson, looking back on that I've learned is I could not change him. I could force him to do what I wanted him to do, but I could not change him. Now, the reason that's on my mind is we can take that situation and apply it to people in our lives today. The people in your life, you're not going to change them. You're not going to make them change. They are set and programmed a certain way, and that's the way they like to do things. And no matter what you say or do, you're not going to change that. Now, Paul, the dog I have today, he's in the house being lazy and taking a nap with Mama. So you got to forgive us for not having him here today. I trained him properly, and our relationship is based on respect. He knows what I expect of him, and he does it because we respect each other, and he looks to me for guidance, and he does what I want him to do and when I ask him to do, because he wants to please me. He wants to make me happy, because when I'm happy, I reward him. He's happy. It's a give and take. What I have learned through the years with people is, for instance, if somebody is a certain way and they do something you don't like, you can explain that to them, and they can see the benefits of making you happy and changing the way they think about things and the way they do things, but you're not changing them. You encourage them to make the decision to change their mind about how they do things, but you're not changing who they are. I've learned this the hard way. Unfortunately, this works with alcoholism as well and drug addiction. I suffered through alcoholism, and there was lots of people around me that wanted me to change and wanted me to stop. And I'm just going to put it straight to you. That person is not going to stop until they're ready to stop. It's not to make a change of who they are or to change their life. It's usually because the consequences have gotten greater than they were willing to pay. That's what it took for me. Until the consequences got to the point that I didn't want to pay that consequence anymore, because they get stiffer every time. I didn't want to do that anymore. That's when I decided to stop. And that's when I got help. The state of Texas helped me with that by putting me in their prison system in a drug and alcohol program. But for me, that's what it took. It didn't change who I am. It changed how I thought about drinking. And when I would think about drinking, I would think about the consequences that came with it. I see this a lot in society. It's just as bad today as it always has been. You hear this young gal. She finds this guy, says he's the perfect guy. She falls in love with him. They end up getting married. They're going to start a family, and they're going to do this. And the first thing she wants to do is change him. But that usually ends in disaster, because you cannot change a person. No more than I can change my dog of who he is. I can reward him for the behavior I want, and I can give him a correction for the behavior I do not want, and then just sit back and watch the wheels turn. You watch them rationalize it and make a decision, but the decision is theirs. It is not yours. It's a hard concept to grasp when you're in the situation, especially when you're young. Now that I'm older and I've matured and I've grown, I realize that looking back now. And the mistakes I've made, a lot of them I regret, but the regret's going to be another video. But that being said, I've learned from those, and I've changed who I am by knowing I can't change others. All I can change about a relationship with others is how I react and what I do, the part I play. Like I said, it's you have to give them alternatives, the good as well as the bad, and then sit back and watch them think it out. Support them, encourage them, but you cannot force them to change. It does not work, and trust me from experience, it will blow up in your face. You will regret that decision because it will end badly for you. You will not get the results you want. That's as far as your relationship with others, but then you also got to keep in mind there's others that are thinking the same thing about you. So weigh those alternatives. Notice both sides of what can I get out of this? What is going to be the results of this? What's going to be the good result? What's going to be the bad result? And rationalize that decision and make that decision based on who you are. Helps to have a good belief system, because that will kind of steer you in the right direction. I'm not going to preach at you. That's up to you. But that's what's been on my mind here lately. I saw a video a day or two ago. It's from Dwayne from Dry Creek Wrangler School, where he discussed this, and he kind of used a similar story, but it pertained to horses instead of dogs. But listening to him explain it, I'm like, man, I went through the same thing with my dog. The dog I had in the past, I went through that, and I totally wrecked that situation. Because I had that dog, he did what I wanted, but he did it out of fear. Because he was afraid of how I would react. He was afraid of the anger I would have. And that in turn created a nervous dog. Well, nervous dogs, especially when it's a pit bull, gets around people he doesn't know, he would bite. He was one of those dogs that if you came in my yard, you can guarantee you were getting bit. And that was my fault, because I tried to force what I wanted on him and tried to change who he was. So the lesson for today, to looking back, is if you try to force others to change, they will turn around and bite you. It will hurt, trust me. And I'm not talking about a physical bite. I'm talking about an emotional relationship type of bite. It will not end well. You will not get the results you want. And usually you end up alone. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway, if you liked anything in this video, please like, share, subscribe. Ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling, or ding-a-ling that ring-a-ling, so you'll get notified whenever we post the next video. Today is Sunday. I will have this scheduled to post tomorrow. And then the next video we'll post after that will be Friday. That's really all I've been thinking about today. And I just wanted to make a video and touched on it. I hope I explained it well. I hope a message gets across and it will help you. So until the next video, just watch for the lessons, learn from the lessons, and be the best version of you the world has ever seen.